Welcome back everyone, I'm Rolling Initiative, and today I'm going to be going over some general tips that maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but I definitely felt like it really impacted my game because I actually had to go out of my way to look for these when I first played the game. One of the fastest ways you can make money in this game is the Bazaar. I'm on a fresh account and I was just selling sand for a day. Casually went to the beach, picked up some sand, and saw that it was selling for a decent price. Now, I'm gonna go through. You can look through the items that you have, and you can compare them to if they're selling in the auction house. I check out lead, and I see nobody's really even selling lead. It's at an absorbent amount, so nobody's really for 20k, you know, and it's gonna sell fast. You know, I sold one for 20k, one for 15k, because I like to get a feel to see what sells and what pushes. If things sell too fast, then I'll bump up the price. But I mean, a 1 hour old account, you could start doing this right away and actually make a little bit of money to pay for your early game equipment. And again, majority of the money you're going to make from this is going to be from gathering spots. A lot of the enemy killed material is just generally overpopulated on the Bazaar, so if you go out of your way to farm the gathering spots, you'll make a ton of money. Now you see all those things I just posted. This is the next day. Next day, not everything sold, but a good amount sold. I got 90,000. And again, that's on the low end, something anyone can do, but it's very passive. You just throw it up. The game doesn't tell you outright you can have a second main pawn, but you can. As soon as you have your first pawn, you can get your second pawn. All you have to do is just come to the shop, or any shop that actually has rift stones. You buy the rift stone shards, buy 10, and all you have to do is just run back to the temple, talk to the dragon, and create your new second pawn. Now that we have a second pawn, we can invite the first main pawn and summon 2 support pawns, which all fresh accounts can have 2 extra support pawns. It is not tree dependent. So that would have 3, and then all you would have to do is we have to /invite our 4th pawn, Hannah, and eventually when you have a 3rd main pawn, whatever their name is. So /invite the name, and then we have them in. You can also do this with your friends. Now, turning force camera. This drove me insane for the first few hours of the game. But it's a simple fix. All you have to do is just go into the settings, go into system settings, and you'll find it. The camera effects. Once camera effects are off, I'll show an example. You'll knock someone down. He just got knocked down. No force camera. It makes playing some classes 10 times better. And another thing, pawn effects. When you start having a lot of pawns, you will have a lot of things on screen and it becomes really hard to see. This is another one. We just need to go into our system's config settings and find the visibility of other player effects. Definitely turn this down to very low. You will still see things, but it will not have as much cluster and you can actually see what's kind of going on in combat. Highly recommend it. As you can see, we can still see our pawn's abilities, but it's not going to be overwhelming. Another one in the settings is hiding our helmet, which is horrendous. Most of the time, I never have a helmet on. I hated it. It was one of the first things I did when I first played the game. But yeah, game config, and you will find it in the character settings, and you can hide both your pawn's helmet and your helmet as well. And talking about our pawns, we can change our pawn's AI behaviors, and you probably heard this about going into the room and talking to the bell. Now, here we have Lily, and here's the bell. All you have to do is just go to the bell, choose your pawn, and you can actually go and change how you want them to behave. And if you really micromanage this, you can actually have a pretty good time. If there's something that you don't like them doing, you can make them, like here, you can prioritize small targets if you hate having the little things attack you while you're fighting something large. But the settings are quite extensive. Jack Black has guides on some of the character settings, and that's definitely really good for general use case, but definitely you want to kind of play around and experiment in what you want your pawn to do. Now, setting these priorities is very tedious. You have to move it one at a time. So definitely move the high priority stuff up to the top first. Now that we have that done, we have this man over here, shining within the loyal heart. It is important to have this because it will unlock our pawn specials, which is massive. It allows us to have revives. Our pawns can revive us now. We can have full heals. We can have pawns increase our attack damage and our magic damage. It can actually be really game changing, and depending on how you want to play, you can customize them. Each pawn that you get gets 3 abilities, and you can have it to where every single one of those pawns can resurrect you. Now, area status. Now, when you go into the area list, you can look for the spot list, and this allows you to kind of get a preview of what is inside areas in dungeons. Pretty useful if you want to look up stuff in game. Currently, right now, the Revival server has a interactive map. It's quite useful out of game resource to use on the Revival server. Lestania news is pretty cool, pretty useful to use. It's similar to the last thing, except this kind of shows you what quests are in the local area. And it will also show you quest rewards as well. So, you know, if you want to look around, see what the local quests actually give you, you know, sometimes they give out equipment. It's definitely useful to use when you're in a new area and you're just kind of gathering information. Not for everyone, but it's still something that's pretty cool and underutilized. Now, while you're out exploring, if you ever see a crack on the minimap, it is most likely there is a hidden wall that leads to somewhere else. Usually you have extra things. If there is a wall, there is an explosive. Maybe you have to go pretty far, but generally you just have to look around in the area and you will find an explosive barrel. So, generally you'll have extra resource gathering nodes in chests. Now, EXM, Extreme Missions. Now, she actually has the Extreme Mission skill unlock. You have to get all the way to Shining Gate, and when you do that, you actually unlock some of your first set of abilities that are locked away that you'll see that is locked behind a trial. These are the trials, and she has those. On top of other EX missions, we can go to the Collab channel right here, and this man has a few of the collab items and missions. There will be item level requirements, and then also they will have you do maybe another mission, another extreme mission as a prerequisite. By the time you can actually get access to them, they're pretty easy missions, I would say. And she also has a few. Ghosts and Goblins, Attack on Titan. But as far as I know, that's where a majority of the currencies for the collab is. Now, if we go back to the crafting section, in the ensembles, we can find all of the armor. Some of the weapons can be found in the weapon category, but if you were looking for the armor, it's all in the ensembles. Here's just, you know, a little preview of them all. Generally pretty good general gear. And we have our friend Gregory here. He exchanges items for other items. And some of it is gacha. Now, this experience ring, the Enlighten ring, does not work on this server, but generally the experience rates are higher than baseline, so you don't really need it. And there's some other things, like this comes from BBM. Yeah, majority of this comes from BBM. Some of this comes from boss rush dungeons. But generally, a lot of pretty good accessories comes out of this guy. Some of these accessories you can craft, and some of them you have to buy certain items from BBM. The boss rush lanterns, you need these tickets. Very cool, useful items, but it's kind of very end game because it's in the boss rush rooms. And then we have the holiday event items, which are some of the gacha rolls whenever those events come around. We just recently had the Valentine's Day event, but very cool. Gregory is pretty awesome. Some good stuff coming out of him. He is in the shopping district if you need to go and find him. Now, another tip for definitely early game, money is tight. Getting cost performance pawns, super important. I looked up some cost performance pawns for you. These guys are relatively cheap and low level and have pretty high stats. So go back through, look at the names. You can search up their names, and hopefully these guys can save you a little bit. But as you can see, I'll go in and I'm buying this piece of clothing, this invisible coat, costs 1 million. Once I apply these pawns, you're going to see that price get cut dramatically. So I go from 1 million, I almost get 40%. So massive savings, definitely when you start spending on the gacha, or not the gacha, but the collab items, more or less. And this is going to be another random tip. I just leveled up. Always maximize one stat over anything else. Now, changing party leaders. As you can see, I'm with my friend, and I cannot update my area rank because I am not the party leader. I have him pass me the party lead, and as soon as he passes me the party lead in the party option, I am now able to update my area rank, and I can continue leveling up with him. I have more Season 1 stuff coming up, but until then, I'll catch you guys later.